Okay, this is the TAKS training for the spring exit retest, the exit TAKS, Math, Science, and Social Studies, and the 10th grade TAKS accommodated and M, Math, Science, and Social Studies. I'm David Dipple, testing coordinator at Humble High School. Okay, please note does not take the place of reading and following the appropriate testing manuals. There's many resources that are available both online and in text form. Just let me know if you want to take a look at those. The actual schedule for TAKS week, Tuesday the 24th. The 10th graders take the math, and the English retest will take place. That happens in the 3000, 3100 halls and LGI 2. Please note grades 9, 11, and 12 will be on a regular 8th period day. Bells will ring just as they did when we did the STAR testing. About 12:35 we will have a D lunch for the students who are testing, and then at that point after the D lunch, which will end, they'll go to 7th period. Then on Wednesday the same thing happens, except on Wednesday we have 11th grade math testers and math retesters. Same area, 3000 to 3100 halls. In this case, the 9th grade, the 10th grade, and the 12th grade will be on the regular 8th period day. And again, about 12:35, we'll have a D lunch. We'll move the testers down to the lunch area. That's during 6th period. They'll eat, and then everyone goes to 7th period. Now, if you are testing on Tuesday, if you have predominantly 10th grade students, any non-10th grade students you have will go to the auditorium. Same way with Wednesday. And then the next day is Thursday, the 26th. There is no late arrival for the building. However, seniors do have late arrival if they have already completed all testing. 9th graders will be in the annex, similar to what happened back on the 7th when we did the ELA testing. This is the science test, 10th grade, 11th grade, and retesters. That will be in the 3000, 3100, and 3200 halls. Basically, the whole building shuts down. 9th graders go into the annex. And then about 11:30, this will all finish up. Then we'll go to, I believe, 4th period. Seniors will return, and the day will progress. And then Friday, similar to Thursday, 9th graders will be in the annex. 12th graders have late arrival, about 10:30 this time. The 10th, 11th, and retesters will be taking social studies, 3000, 3100, and 3200 halls. And again, social studies tends to end earlier, so we will let that out about 10:30, and then we'll proceed on with classes as posted. When you give tests, if you have mainly 10th graders and you gave the 10th grade ELA, then you're going to give the math test on Tuesday. Any non-testing students that you have, because a lot of teachers have mixed groups of students, if you're testing on 10th graders, your non-testing students will go to the auditorium. If you gave the 11th grade English test, which was the 3200 hall, you will be giving the math test on Wednesday because you have predominantly junior students. Any non-junior students, tell them they need to go to the auditorium. Again, this is a day when most of the building is going on, so this small group of students, up to about 100, will go to the auditorium. Then, if you did not give the English test at all on the 7th, you're going to be giving the science and social studies, which are Thursday and Friday. Co-teachers will be testing every day because we just have a large need for small groups. The actual testing schedule for test days, you need to arrive at 6:45 to pick up materials. Hall monitors need to be in the halls by 7 o'clock to help with the students. Testing needs to start about 7:25. The Tuesday and Wednesday, those are regular days outside of the testing area. D lunch is going to start again about 12:35, and then after that they'll go to 7th period. That's just on those 2 days. Thursday, which is science, we get out about 11:35. That is a student-driven time. And then Friday, social studies, we get out earlier, usually around 10:35. And again, those are student-driven times, so students can't just be released. They need to listen for release over the PA system. Main changes, any English tests cannot be copied. Answer documents. The only parts you need to worry about are the A for absent or S for score. On the TAKS test, they're over here on the right. Those are the two areas, A for absent, S for score. There should be 3 tests. And please do not change any documentation that's here. Please do not have students bubble anywhere on the front. They do write up at the top what their test document numbers are. Okay, administrative responsibilities. Make sure you read the manuals, attend training, complete all the training sessions, sign the oath, which everyone has done, assist me in preparing for test administration, complete the seating chart every day, put up a do not disturb sign, make sure you prepare materials when you get to class, make sure every kid has a booklet, answer sheet, and a number 2 pencil. This will all be counted out when you get them. Sign the material control forms. You are checking out the documents. You are then responsible for them. Ensure proper testing procedures are followed and that you're reading things exactly as they are written. Make sure you read the Humble ISD cell phone statement. Take up cell phones, move them to the front of the room. Put them in a box. Students cannot have cell phones. That is an issue that we're running into more and more. Actively monitor test administration at all times. Provide a quiet and comfortable environment. Make sure they stay quiet even after your test room is done, because there are testing rooms around and in the vicinity. We cannot let students go early, especially with the 10th, 11th graders, because the building is going outside and we can't just let students run around the building and get out of the testing area. Make sure you double check every student's answers are on his or her answer documents. Make sure they don't get out without bubbling their answers. If there's any problems, please report them to the testing coordinator. Do not allow students to bubble the demographic areas. There are no cell phones, iPods, Nooks, Kindles, or other two-way telecommunications devices allowed in the rooms by students or administrators. Students may use highlighters. You need to offer those. You cannot put one on each desk. They may not use any scratch paper, and you're not allowed to answer any questions relating to the content of the test itself. Test administrators cannot leave the testing room unless it is monitored by a trained substitute. And we may change classrooms as long as test security is not breached. We take up the materials. Administrator carries the materials. Students may never carry their own testing materials. Reinforcing, reviewing, and/or distributing testing strategies is not allowed. That includes use of highlighters and encouraging that. You cannot require students to use any particular testing strategy. They must be allowed to work at their own pace, but do not allow them to sleep, because we want them to get through with the test, not stay all day. Students must remain seated during the testing time and are not allowed to talk while the tests are out. They are not allowed to work on previous sections. It's really important that you monitor this, because we're having three sections in the answer documents. So on Friday they should not be going back to the science or back to the math. On the math day, they shouldn't be going ahead and just randomly bubbling the forward section. So make sure they're on the section that's tested that day. Brief breaks are allowed in the testing rooms, and lunch breaks are permitted, but we're pushing those back until after this test. We're not taking a lunch break this time. All tests are untimed. Students must be allowed to have as much time as necessary. We're not required to test beyond the day. We will stay if we need to, as long as we need to. We will stay again until the late buses run, but we encourage the students to work all day, and so hopefully they will be through. Historically, pretty much they get through these. Directions: the math is on page 109, science is on page 119, and social studies is on page 129. Math and science, make sure they have number 2 pencils with erasers, calculators, one for every student, highlighter if they ask for it, and the math and science chart. Social studies, all they need is a pencil. After testing, make sure you inspect the answer documents. Make sure students have bubbled. If they haven't, hand it back and ask them to bubble. After everything is collected, make sure you return it to the 3100 office. And students may quietly read books. If they're in the retest area, they can return to class if it's after 10 o'clock in the morning. Immediately after testing sessions, when you have everything done, return all the documents to the 3100 office. As far as lunch goes, about 10:35, most students should be through. We're going to have what's called a D-lunch this time. If they're not finished, they're going to go back and eat lunch in the testing room and finish, but most students should be done by then historically, and so we're going to have a D-lunch and then send them to 7th period. Emergency plans, make sure you secure the documents, escort students outside, and the student safety is the first priority. There is a makeup test, so by 8 o'clock you need to mark if a student is absent. We'll collect the attendance and call the parents. Picking up documents, we'll be there by 6:45 in the morning, count the materials out, sign the materials out, and take the documents to your testing room to get ready to go. If you're a hall monitor, make sure you help the administrator set up, decide on a relief plan when they're going to be in and we're going to give them breaks. The hall monitors take care of late students to get them going, and hall monitors will be the test administrators if administrators are absent. Once you are through, make sure you return the test documents to the office. Put answer sheets inside the booklets this time because there's multiple tests, so we want to keep the answer sheets and books together. Put the books in numerical order. Make sure you turn the administrator manual, and the office staff will sign in the materials. Hall monitors need to watch the room so documents can be turned in. If you're giving a retest, English students need a number 2 pencil. They need a highlighter, if they would ask for one, and they need dictionaries. You will have post-it notes in the box, so that please put these out at the beginning, and when students complete the first section, then you take up the the post-it note, and if they don't have a post-it note, they cannot use a dictionary. So students doing a English retest can only have a dictionary in the first section of the English part. Small group testing, accommodations are based on ARDS and 504s. We consolidate students based on those accommodations, and accommodations will be listed on the class rosters with a key, just as they have been done in the past. And if you have a small group, after 10 o'clock, we're going to move the small groups down to the 3,300 office. That's only on Thursday and Friday, not on Tuesday or Wednesday. So paraprofessionals will help out with that. And that concludes all of the training. Please make sure you signed in, and if you have any questions, send me an email. Thank you.